What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Moltan. In case you didn't know, obviously you know because you're here. That was a stupid entrance, but we are doing something very new, something very unique to my channel. We are doing a Premier League predictions table. So obviously I'm a Man United fan. I've tried my best not to buy shirts for a little while because I don't want to support the Glazers, but we won't get into that completely at all right now. But yeah, today we're just going to do a simple where I think everybody's going to finish in the Premier League. We will also have a look at the confirmed transfers before we go through each team. So we're going to obviously do it in alphabetical order. So we'll do Arsenal. We'll predict where we think they're going to finish. We'll see what transfers they've done, see what impact we think they'll have, and so on and so on. And we'll move through. So without further ado, let's move over. Right, so here we have Arsenal's transfers so far this season. They've obviously brought in Gabriel Jesus, which I think is going to be a massive signing for him. I think he's going to add the goals that they've been missing. I know that a lot of people probably have their doubts over Gabriel Jesus because of his inconsistent performance for Man City. But I think being the main focal point at number 9 for Arsenal, I think he's going to fit in very well under Arteta. And I just think he's generally going to be a fantastic player and a great replacement for Alexandre Lacazette, who obviously has left on a free foot back to Lyon. So that is a fantastic sign. Obviously, everyone that they've let go so far are all people that were just on out of the loan FC players, basically, apart from maybe Matthias Guendouzi. They brought in Marquinhos, who's relatively unknown midfielder, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. Matt Turner and Fabio Vieira. There's a lot of noise coming out about Fabio Vieira. He looks like he might be a very, very good player. But with the signings they've made so far, with the couple of people like Lucas Paqueta and a couple of others that they might be potentially bringing in, I think we could safely say, I'm going to put a bold statement out here. And I say a bold, I'm going to put them in UEL 5th to 6th. That's where I'm going to think that they're going to finish. I think that they've strengthened, but not as much as everybody else has in and around them in that area. So for me, that's roughly where they're going to finish. I know it's, I'm going to get criticised, crucially burnt for that one. But anyway, on to the next one. Right, and welcome back. Here we have Aston Villa, who have actually officially completed the signing of Philippe Coutinho. They've brought in Boubacar Kamara. This player has been touted by everybody. How Aston Villa ended up signing him is completely beyond me. There were so many bigger teams after his signature, and I'd have to say fair bloody play to him for getting him in. And Diego Carlos, any FIFA fan will know, he is an absolute demon. He's a monster. He is an absolute fantastic centre-back. Rob Olsen, great backup keeper, although people would probably argue differently, especially considering the time that he spent at Everton. Yeah, he wasn't the greatest. Rory Wilson, I'm not too sure about. Ludwig Augustinsson is a left-back, I believe. And I think, from what I remember, if I remember correctly, he's a very good player. They have let go of a fair few good players, though, in Matt Targett, Trezeguet, Louis Barry, who's a very good up-and-coming player. I thought they might have kept him at the club. But yeah, for me, Aston Villa, they've definitely strengthened, but they've let go of a couple of good players as well. I think it's going to be more of like a mid-table season for them. But I'm going to go the Steven Gerrard effect second season. I'm going to go high mid-table, but they're going to be at the back end. So like the 13th position, I think. I think that's a fair enough result. But yeah, anyway, into the next team. Right, guys. So next on the list, we have Bournemouth. Bournemouth. This generation's Derby County. This generation's yo-yo club. Up, down, up, down. Letting go of Eddie Howe will be the worst thing they ever did. They have a lot of building to do especially when you consider the fact that the only players they've signed so far are Ryan Fredericks and Joe Rothwell. Ryan Fredericks is okay, but they've let go of players like Sam Sherring, who's a very good centre-back. Gary Cahill, released, could have been Premier League experience. Robbie Brady. I don't know. They've just spent most of their time clearing their books, and not spending any money to bring anyone in, and they're not the most adventurous team in the world. So yeah, I think Bournemouth are going to find it very, very, very difficult to stay up this season, and I don't see anything other than finishing. I think that they might, because they've still got a bit of Premier League experience in there, they might finish 18th or 17th, but I'm going to go with 18th in relegation zone. I think it's going to be a very stereotypical up-down kind of season for them. And yeah, that's about all I can say on them. So on to the next one. Right, guys, here we have Brentford, who absolutely smashed the league last season in comparison to what people were expecting of them, what people thought they were going to do, what they thought was going to happen. And you have to admit that I don't think there's anyone that thought that they would take the world by storm like they did. And they've added Aaron Hickey, very good player. Keanu Lewis-Potter, very good player. Yehor Yarmoliak, don't know who that is. I believe he's supposed to be a very, very, very good up-and-coming Ukrainian player. I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. Thomas Strakosha is a very good goalkeeper. That is a very good signing in itself. And I feel like their goalkeeper area was a bit of an issue last season. But yeah, they've lost Alvaro Fernandez, who was a very good player for them. Obviously only on loan. Zanka gone, Julian Janvier gone. Christian Eriksen gone to my club, Man United. I almost feel bad that we've signed him from him. He should have stayed there. He should have proven his loyalty, I think, and shown a bit of respect at the fact that they saved his career for him, basically, because nobody wanted to take a punt at him. But I think Brentford are going to do very well again this season. So yeah, I think this season is going to be a very same as last season, I think, for Brentford. I'm going to say lower mid-table, but definitely the 14th sort of position. That's where I think they're going to come. Don't forget, guys, if you have gotten to this point in the video, if you disagree with any outcomes that I put here, let me know in the comments. Please drop a like, let me know. And we're going to revisit this video next season, where obviously we'll start a bit later next season because the World Cup happening means that the Premier League season is starting a lot sooner. I just wanted to kind of get through as much of the transfer window as possible before I posted my outcome. So, yeah. Right, guys, welcome back. Next up, we have Brighton bringing in Julio Enciso. No idea who that is. He's a player from Libertad Asuncion. I don't know. Benicio Baker Boyati. He's actually a very good player from Porto. That is somebody that I do know a little bit about. He's going to bring him a lot of versatility, I think, and he's going to be a very good player in general. Simon and Adingra from Nordsjælland. I'm probably butchering these names. Like, they have not made any amazing signings. Benicio is good, but after losing the likes of Bissouma and Østegård, I think they're going to struggle. Lars Den Donker, I know he didn't play too much, but he got released. Baluta, there's Debois, Malumbai, like that. Their squad's a bit butchered, I think. Brighton have got a very good manager within Graham Potter, so I don't think that they're going to get relegated. But I do think that they're going to take up another spot in the low mid-table, but the 17th. I think they're going to be borderline. I think they're going to be very low down in the table, and I don't think they're going to do too well. Right, so on to the next one. Right, guys, here we have another big name, a big hitter, a big pusher for the league title, for the top of the table. It's Chelsea, obviously bringing in Kalidou Koulibaly. What a signing. After losing Rudiger to Real Madrid on a free and Andreas Christensen to Barcelona, who have no money but seem to sign every player that they want. Kalidou Koulibaly is a very good player to bring in. Obviously, they are trying to bring in Jules Koundé as well at the moment, but once again, it's another player that Barcelona are stopping from moving because they're just greedy gits. Raheem Sterling, I think Raheem Sterling is an amazing signing for Chelsea. I think he solves a lot of issues because from left wing, Chelsea never really had any options outside of like Timo Werner, Pulisic, like not very good players. Raheem Sterling brings winning mentality, winning qualities. And just an English link for him, which I think is something that they lack in their starting team, is English players in general. I do think they are on to winners, though. I think Chelsea are going to finish very high this season, even though they let go of Romelu Lukaku, who didn't really have the best of time there. They lost Rudiger, they lost Christensen. They're having I would argue they're having a little bit of a rebuild. They may be stealing. They may be stealing De Jong off Manchester United. They're kind of having like a miniature rebuild. I think they're helping Thomas Tuchel. I think they really think that they can push for a lot of things, and I think Chelsea are that team that can do that. I think Chelsea are the team that can break the mold of the City and Liverpool. I don't think it'll be this season, but I do think that they'll be in the UCL 2 or 4. I think that's kind of an obvious guess. I think the top 4 kind of builds itself at the moment. So yeah, I don't think we've got far to go on that, and that's my score for Chelsea. If they get Koundé and if they manage to steal De Jong, I would put them as potential title winners, but without solving the midfield, which their midfield is fantastic, but it's aging, and the extra centre back, because they may be losing Azpilicueta as well, so they'd only have the likes of, I don't even know who, Chalobah and Koulibaly. Yeah, I think that's it actually. So yeah, they definitely start signing some centre backs as well. Other than that, their team is fantastic, and yeah, so let's move in on to the next one. Right, guys, next up we have Crystal Palace. Always a team that struggle. They're always down there somewheres or abouts. Roy Hodgson is still there. I do like Roy Hodgson as a manager, weirdly. I think even though he's in his 70s now, he adapts. He tries to learn. He tries to develop. He tries to build. They've signed, obviously, Sam Johnson on a free. I don't think he's going to be the starting goalkeeper. I do know that they have Jack Butland. They have Sam Johnson, who obviously starts for England every now and again. And they also have Guaita. Guaita's obviously going to be their first choice goalkeeper. Why they've got 2 England goalkeepers as their backups? I think it's like any other Premier League team. They tend like Manchester United, for example, sign Tom Heaton. Not so he can play, just so he can make up the homegrown and trained in the country players. They also signed Malcolm Ebuwai. I don't know who either of these are. Sheikh Decore, I don't know who they are, but they have released Martin Kelly. That's going to be a good player for somebody like a Nottingham Forest or someone to pick up. Luke Dreher is also a very good player. Outside of that, a lot of the players that they've released are just genuinely just go out on loan, and we'll see what you like when you come back. I think they need to be a lot more active in the transfer window. And weirdly, they don't look like they're ever going to lose Wilfried Zaha. I think the time of him being signed by like an Arsenal or something are gone. And yeah. And for me, Crystal Palace are probably going to make up. Do I think they're going to make up there? This is where it gets hard to fit them in. Do you know what? I think I'm going to move Brentford into there. And we're going to put Crystal Palace into here. But we're going to put them above Brighton. I don't know why. I just have a feeling above Brighton. I think Brighton are going to struggle. I do think Brighton are going to struggle. And that's my thoughts of Crystal Palace. So on to the next one. Right, guys. So it's Everton now. Obviously, Everton struggled. They just stayed out of relegation last season. Which, considering the amount of money they spent, considering everything that they tried to do, and yet they still stuck with Frank Lampard, which confuses me a bit. Like, obviously they were struggling, and then they brought in Frank Lampard, and they continued to struggle. And the only player they brought in is James Tarkowski, and they've lost Richarlison, Fabian Delphin, Sigurdsson, and Tosun all gone on frees, even though they never played anyway. So they haven't. The only player they've lost that makes a difference to them is Richarlison. Everybody else is just clearing up wages and all that jazz. I think Everton last season were a shock. I don't think that that's where they're going to belong at all ever again. I don't think it's anywhere near kind of positions they're going to finish in. For me, Everton are still a European pusher team. They're still a team that are going to finish up here. So I'm going to go Everton in here, and I'm going to put them at the top of the high mid-table. I think last season will give them a proper kick. And I think that they're going to come back stronger. And I do think they'll sign a couple more players before this transfer window's over. If they don't sign any more players, I would happily put them at the back end of the high mid-table. But the team that they've got, the manager they've got, he isn't the best, but he is progressive and he does think. He is trying to learn. So, yeah. So on to the next one, guys. Right, guys. So up next we have Fulham, another yo-yo team, just like Bournemouth. Bournemouth were obviously cemented for a while, but then they've become a yo-yo team. Fulham, up, down, spend tons of money, don't stay in the Premier League, get relegated, get promoted again, spend tons of money, and I don't understand how they haven't gone into like some sort of administration or something. But they have signed pre-season Pirlo. We've sold him, guys. We have sold him. Somebody bought him. Oh my god. I think it's for around 10-12 million pounds. The fact that anybody bought Andreas Pereira like just blows my mind. I'm so happy. João Palhinha is another young player. There seems to be a lot of young players being purchased, being like the Portuguese league is being ravaged at the moment by Premier League teams. They've obviously lost Fabio Carvalho. I think that was a transfer that was agreed in January for him to join now. Very confusing signing for me. It's definitely a player that Liverpool don't need, but hey. Ashby Hammond's a goalkeeper. Steven Sessegnon, he was supposed to be like a next kind of like big talent, but never really. I don't know what happened to him. I think was he at Spurs? All of these players on this list, they're all players from the last time they tried the Premier League, like Fabry, Alfie Mawson, Michael Hector, Cyrus Christie. Like, these are all players that they signed when they last tried to stay in the Premier League. So they've let loads of them go. They've released most of them because of the stupid wages they would have been on from the first time. The two signs they've made and all the players that they've let go, for me, Fulham, I don't want to be that guy that says that they're going to be all up, all down. But Fulham, for me, are definitely going to be making up that spot there. And I'm actually going to put them at 18th, though, because I think Fulham have quite a big squad, strength and depth. If they can pull it together properly, they should do okay. Right, on to the next one. Right, next on the list is Leeds United. Obviously letting go of Rafinha, Calvin Phillips, making themselves a nice, basically £100 million off the two players. But they are two big names, two big players for the club. But I think they've done actually a very good job in the transfer market so far. Mark Rocker, Tyler Adams, Lewis Sinisterra, Brendan Aronson, Rasmus Christensen. Like, these players are all very, very top standard. I genuinely believe they've done a very good job in the window. I think that they're gonna, even though they've lost two big names, I think they're gonna do absolutely fine. I think they're definitely going to do wonders. I think Rafinha made a mistake wanting to leave, especially to Barcelona when he could have gone to Chelsea. I think Chelsea would have been the better move for Rafinha. Calvin Phillips, if he becomes a regular for Man City, that is a big win for England. If he can become a regular for Man City, I think he's there as a bench warmer, as a homegrown talent, but we'll see. For me personally, I think Leeds are definitely going to take up another one of these high mid-table spots. Obviously, we're starting to run out of the high mid-table. We've only got one high mid-table spot left. And we've still got Southampton, Leicester, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, West Ham. So, yeah, if you've managed to make it this far, guys, please leave a like. Please leave a comment on where you think, if I've gone wrong so far. That'd be amazing. But let's go on to the next one. Right, guys, so up next is Leicester City. They haven't made a single signing yet, and they haven't let anybody go, not of any recollection. They've let Jakupovic go, which was I think he was like the third goalkeeper choice there. They haven't made any signings. They haven't sold anybody. I don't know whether that's the plan. I haven't even heard many rumours of Leicester being linked with players. I know that they might be losing Tielemans to either Arsenal or Manchester United. I do know that they are two teams that are going after him. And on that note, like, I can't even put Leicester in the Champions League kind of spots, or Europa League spots, or even Conference League. For me, they're going to be at the back end, not as far down as that, but they're going to be around here. Brentford are going to be at the bottom. Actually, we're going to go like that, and then we're going to... That's going to be my mid-table right there. I don't know why. I just have this feeling that Everton are going to get a resurgence this season. Leicester, they're a very good team, very good coach, but no signings made, nobody sold. It'll be a struggle, but I think they're going to see mid-table mediocrity. So, on to the next one. Right, guys. on to the next one, and it's a big one. It's Liverpool. Liverpool always shrewd in the transfer market. They always do very good business. I think Darwin Núñez, I want to say he's not going to do very well. I want to say he's overrated. I want to say all of this stuff. But when do Liverpool ever really get it wrong anymore? They used to get it wrong all the time, but when do they get it wrong anymore? Fabio Carvalho, Calvin Ramsey, both two players I don't think they really needed. A little bit of signing for the future maybe. But Darwin Núñez, as a Man United fan, it kills me to say, but I hope he does really well. I think he's going to do really well. And I genuinely believe he could be, and he could outdo Erling Haaland quite easily this season, I think. But losing Sadio Mane, that's a big loss. He wanted to go, obviously. Liverpool didn't want rid of him, but he wanted to go. Minamino, this one frustrates me that they've sold him already. It makes, what was the point? They've like wasted like 2 years of his career almost. Very, very, very unsure on that. Nico Williams, as a fantastic player to be able to get off the books, and also vice versa to be signed by the team he's been signed by. Divock Origi, not really a miss. He's like a cult hero, but he's not very good. Reece Williams is out on loan. Billy Comitio is supposed to be a very good up-and-coming centre-back, so there's no wonder he's gone out on loan. Loris Karius, don't even know where he played last season. Owen Beck, Ben Davis, it's not really a miss. I think Liverpool, I think everybody knows Liverpool are going to be up there. But I think this could be the season where Chelsea unlodge them from the second spot. That's my opinion anyway. That's what I think. I think it's the season that Chelsea could push their way into the top two. But yeah, that's my opinion on that one. So on to the next one. Right, guys, next up is obviously Manchester City. God, I hate these guys. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. They just throw money at it all. And obviously United spend a lot of money, but City spend a lot of money and get it right. Obviously, they've signed Erling Haaland. Supposed to be United's next big signing, but City obviously stole him. Well, not stole him. He didn't want to really come here. Calvin Phillips. United wanted him. He never wanted to come to United. Julian Alvarez. United were on the verge of signing this guy as a main striker, not as a third choice. And City swooped in and stole him. I don't know who Stefan Ortega Moreno is. I think he's probably one of the guys. I don't know. So they have strengthened massively on a squad that was already amazing. Obviously, the squad's aging. But they've strengthened. They sold Raheem Sterling, which I don't think for City is going to be that big of a miss. I think it's a great signing for Chelsea. And obviously City are going to miss him a little bit, but he's not going to be a massive miss. Gabriel Jesus, same again. He's a great signing for Arsenal, but I don't think City are going to overly miss him, in my opinion. I don't know who Gavin Bazzuno is. Pedro Porro is a fullback who I didn't know until a couple of months ago was actually a City player on loan at Sporting. I didn't know that until a couple of months ago, which was quite bizarre. Obviously, they've lost a legend in their selves within Fernandinho. I thought he might have got an extra season. And their backup goalkeeper in Zach Steffen's gone out on loan to Middlesbrough, so I'm guessing they're going to... this might be a goalkeeper. I don't know who he is. But, yeah, City, for me, I think if they keep going the way that they do in the transfer market and Pep Guardiola stays there, I don't think this is ever going to change, not for a long time. I think they're going to catch up with Liverpool and Manchester United's titles in Division 1/Premier League. I mean, they've already worked like halfway through the records, so they keep going at the rate that they're going, and they're gonna do bits. They are gonna do a lot. But yeah, all right, let's move on to the next one, guys. Right, guys. Here we go. My team, Manchester United. What the fuck are they doing in the transfer market? I don't know. We are being absolutely taken for a mug by Ajax, by Barcelona, by every team we come near. We're being taken for a bloody ride. 63.5 million. on Lisandro Martinez. That's the total fee. I think it's something like 45 million with add-ons going up to 63. Absolutely taken for a ride there. Hopefully he's a fantastic centre-back. He looks really good. But yeah, Tyrell Malacia, we've already got two absolutely outstanding left-backs. Why we signed a third one, I don't know. He is young, I guess. We've just signed players in positions that we already have plenty of depth in. Christian Eriksen on a free, that's a good bit of business, but nobody else was in for him. Dean Henderson out on loan, again, like, why? Just sell him. Why can't we sell him? Andreas Pereira, thank God he's gone. Matic on a free. Dimani Mella on a free. Cavani released. Jesse Lingard on a free. Juan Mata, Pogba, the club's a joke. Now, for Man United, I really wish that I could put them in top 4. I really do. I really, really do wish I could put them there. But I'm going to put us here, sharing, not even sharing. I think we're just going to finish quite clearly in 6th. I think Ronaldo's going to go. He's going to force his way out somehow. And I don't think the club have got it in their nutsacks to side. If we get De Jong and Anthony, I put us in the top 4. But with the squad we've got now, we're lucky to finish 6th. Lucky. It's only my bias putting us there. I would put us in the 8 to 13 slot otherwise. Right, guys, on to the next one. Right, guys, next up we have Newcastle United, the new millionaire team, the new billionaire team, the new Man City. How long is it going to take them to replicate Man City with Eddie Howe in charge? I don't know if they can. I don't know if they will, but they will definitely be another team making it that it's 7, 8 teams competing for the top 4 now, I think, in the Premier League, realistically. Sven Botman, very good centre-back, very reliable. Nick Pope, we obviously know, is a great goalkeeper from Burnley. They got relegated last season. It's weird, that, isn't it? They sack Sean Dyche and they don't avoid the drop. It's weird. Matt Targett from Aston Villa, good signing. Alex Murphy, don't know who he is. Charlie MacArthur, don't know who he is. They haven't let anyone of a big note go. Sven Botman, Nick Pope, Matt Targett, they've definitely secured up their defence a little bit more and their goalkeeping position. Because Dubravka just isn't the one, I don't think, personally. I don't think he's very good. They've got a lot more money to spend and a lot more places to go. But I think that they're still working out the edges on that. So I am actually going to put... I'm going to put Newcastle as the Conference League position. And I'm actually going to move Brentford down into here. I've just looked at it then and I figured, yeah, I think that's what I want for there. So yeah, on to the next one, guys. Right, guys. Next up, we have Nottingham Forest, who are being, in my opinion, very, very good in the transfer market. For a newly promoted team, I think they're being amazing. I genuinely, until I just looked at the signings that they've made, I knew what signings they've made, but when I looked at how many they've made, I genuinely believe that I might have to move a couple of teams around in a moment. Jesse Lingard on a free. I don't care what anybody says. Jesse Lingard is a baller. He is a good player. He's just not good enough for like a top 6 team. Outside of that, he's a good player. If it's 200 grand a week, they've kind of scammed themselves. Nico Williams from Liverpool. I've always said I've never quite understood. When Liverpool had like a mass injury situation, they were playing Jordan Henderson in centre-back instead of Nico Williams. Then the moment they put Nico Williams in centre-back, they started winning games and started climbing up the table again. And he was a very good centre-back for him, I thought. Ryan Hammond, I don't know who he is. Taiwo Awan, I don't know who that is. Omar Richards is a very, very good player. An American centre-back, I believe. He looks amazing. He's towering tall. He's great. He looks really good. Harry Toffolo, don't know. Lewis O'Brien, don't know. But Bianconi is a very good player. Dean Henderson, obviously, Dean Henderson is... if we didn't have David De Gea at Manchester United, Dean Henderson would be, without a shadow of a doubt, one of, if not the best keeper for England. But David De Gea is just another level above him. So... yeah, I think on loan is fantastic for him, and we're paying half the wages. So yeah, there's that. Musa Niakate. Now, this is a player that when I heard he was available for around £10 million, I pleaded that United would go and get him. He is a fantastic centre-back. He is big, strong, fast, he's young. And Nottingham Forest got him for £10 million. Nottingham Forest. How weird is... Like, I just don't understand why nobody else went for him. Wayne Hennessy is a confusing one. One, I didn't know he was at Burnley. Did you? I thought he was still at Crystal Palace. After signing Dean Henderson and obviously already having a goalkeeper, confuses me a little bit. Brandon Aguilera, not Aguilera. Yeah, we'll go with Aguilera. Not sure he is, but then like Lewis Graben gone on a free. They've lost quite a few players. Sam Sanders, Baba Fernandez, Gaitan Bong. Like, they've lost a fair few players. Will Swan, Tyrese Forner. But yeah, they should be okay. I think. I think they should be okay personally. And I think they're going to be a bit of a surprise package. I think they're going to be a bit of a surprise package, and we're going to move a couple of things around here. I'm going to pop Everton down here, put them at the front, and I'm going to put Crystal Palace in here. I was just looking at them, and that's how I think it's going to go. I think Forest are going to be a bit of a surprise package, and finish quite high up. But yeah, I think that's how it's going. Right, on to the next one, guys. Right, guys, next up we have Southampton. Southampton. They've signed 2 City youngsters that not many people would have heard of. Joey Aribo. He had an okay season last season. They've got somebody in on a scholarship. Matthews Liz on a free. Armel Bella Kotchap, not a clue. They've let Shane Long go. Harry Lewis gone on a free. Fraser Forster gone on a free. I think Southampton... The reason why I've changed it all around is because Southampton, for me, are going to take up... Am I going to move it around again? I think I'm going to move it around again. 14, 15, 16. Oh wait, that's 4 teams in there, isn't it? I can count, guys. I really can. Southampton, for me, are going to take up this spot in here. They're going to be 18th, I think. I just realised then that that's 4 teams that go in there, not 3. But yeah, that's for me there. So I think that's our mid-table done, basically. We've got one more team to fit into the mid-table here. That's the relegation zone I think I'm going to stick with regardless of the transfers of the next team. So now it's just deciding on the other team for the top 4. And the other team for there. And yeah. So on to the next one, guys. Right. Guys, next up we have Tottenham. Tottenham. They have been amazing in the transfer window so far. Antonio Conte was my choice for the next Man United manager. He's who I really wanted us to push for. And look at the way that he's going about it, what he's making. A team that are like forever known as being cheapskates that could have pushed on and could have won trophies if they'd spent more money. They've gone out and got Richarlison, like Basuma, Perisic, Forster, Longley. All these players, they are not starting players for Spurs. Spurs know that they've got a world-class squad as it is. But what they've done is they've improved their bench. They've improved their depth with Richarlison. So Kulusevski, Son, Lucas Moura, Harry Kane, and Richarlison, all interchangeable. Apart from Harry Kane, they can all play on either wing. They can play through the middle, like all of them. Ivan Perisic's the same across the front 3 and even into left back and stuff. He was playing for Inter Milan. Fraser Forster's a very good goalkeeper to have as a backup to Hugo Lloris, but they do need to look more into a youth keeper now, I think. Dijed Spence, who did they have at right back last season? Was it Doherty, I think? I think he's a mass improvement. Longley is a fantastic centre-back. The fact that they've got him on loan is kind of impressive. And Basuma, I think every United fan would scream out from the top of their lungs that he's the player that they wanted. That why we're trying to buy De Jong for 70 million when we could have got Basuma for 25 and then added another player or 2 on top of that. They've let Stephen Bergwijn go, who it just didn't really work out for him. He is a good player, but it just didn't work out for him. Jackie Clark to Sunderland. Obviously, he was a good young player. Didn't work out for him. Cameron Carter-Vickers getting 10 million for a player that I think they've loaned out every season since they've signed him. I think Tottenham are a team that give it 2-3 seasons under Conte, and they will be definitely splitting up these top teams up here. But for now, they are going to be my choice for the 4th spot. They're going to be the team that take the top 4. I think Arsenal and United are going to be miles. Well, Arsenal won't be miles behind. I think United will be. But they'll just hold on here. But yeah. Right, so on to the next one, guys. All right, guys, next up we have West Ham, who have been fantastic every season since David Moyes has come. They've been doing really well. They've been doing bits. They're looking better and better each time, but they've kind of slowed down on the transfer market this season. Naif Aguerd from Rennes, he is a good player. He's not like horrendously bad, but he's nothing special. Alfonso Areola, I mean, they've already got Fabianski, so did they really need another aging keeper? I don't know. Flynn Downs, don't know who that is. Noble retiring's a bit of sucks a little bit. Yarmolenko on a free sucks a little bit. Ryan Fredericks, they've lost a little bit of strength, I think. But they're still strong enough, I think, to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, 6 teams going there. I can count, okay? Anyone who gets this point, please don't ridicule me too much. West Ham will definitely be up here. They will be. It'll be between Leicester and West Ham, I think, for who takes that top spot there in the mid table. And then next up is obviously Wolves, guys. Nathan Collins in, Hwang Hee-chan permanently in. They haven't lost anybody big. Fabio Silva out on loan because obviously it didn't work out too well for him. But yeah, I think Forest will be. But yeah, guys, that is my predictions for the 22-23 Premier League season. If you have any opinions on it and you made it to this final video, please let me know at the bottom. Where would you move a team around? Do you think I got it wrong? Where do you think your teams will come? Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the video. And if you like this kind of content, maybe let me know down below and we can see a bit more. I hope that you do. I'd love to do more tier list things like this to do with football and stuff. I want to start a Fantasy Premier League thing up as well. So if you'd like to get involved with that, let me know down below. And as for everything else, guys, just remember, you're not a Man United fan. You're probably going to have a fun season regardless of who your team is. But yeah, for now, much love, peace, happiness, stay strong, and just keep moving forward, guys. Peace.